Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Descript Support Q&A, officially live for its second week on YouTube here with you. I am Trevor, a member of the support team.
I'm Salvatore, and another member of the support team.
And welcome. If this is your first week, welcome. If this is your second week, welcome back.
Again, yeah.
We are here to answer your questions and guide you through some other Descript features, workflows, and other common questions that we might get. So let's get started. This is the Descript Q&A. We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time with largely with us, might have a couple of other guests. And we are also here with Alex, who's in the chat, who just said welcome to everyone.
Shout out Alex.
Shout out Alex, also a member of the support team and great help for us here. Just to go over who we are members of the support team. I've been here, it's complicated because I left briefly and then came back, but I think it's been about 3 years, maybe a little over 3 years for me here. How about you?
I'm a little over 2 years here at Descript, and yeah, time flies. Can't even.
Time does fly. And this is for anybody. So regardless of if you are just starting with Descript, you are a new user, or you used it in the past and are coming back, or you're a seasoned user but just have a question for us live, we're happy to help, happy to answer any questions you may have. The goals are to answer your questions live. So if you do have a question, feel free to send in a question in the chat. We'll try to get to as many / everything that we can. If we have any clarification, Alex from the chat might just ask you to clarify a little bit more so we have a full grasp of the question while we're answering the previous one. So just keep an eye out on the chat for those clarifying questions. Some other resources that we have is our help center. Here you can find walkthroughs, tutorials, troubleshooting guides, and specific feature overviews. What I like to do is just type in a feature in the help center and it will land you to a bunch of different pages for that, or one main master page for that. YouTube, so you must be familiar with YouTube because that's where we are right now. But if you go to the Descript channel, and you can subscribe there and like videos, add to your collection of videos to watch, your playlists. We have a lot of tutorials, feature previews, reviews, other announcements, and of course, other past webinars, including these, which will be recorded and available to view on that YouTube page. We also have a growing community of Descript users on Discord, Reddit, and now we have an official Facebook page. We're always looking to add more community pages for our Descript users, but we can only grow if we add more on our existing ones. And if you are interested in other live events like this one, we have a full live event page with other webinars. This is every week at 11 a.m. on Tuesday Pacific time. We also have Discord office hours, which is a slightly different session with a little bit more seasoned users, but anyone is obviously welcome to ask questions and hang out with some seasoned Descript users. That's on Discord at 1 p.m. every Wednesday. And if you want to get in touch with the support team directly, in the app, click that question mark at the top right, and then click Contact Us. And if you want to get connected directly with one of the members of the support team, just press human or type in human or agent, and you'll be connected directly with us. So now with that, all of that now out of the way. That's right?
Those are the words.
I'll work on phrasing that. Who has questions? We're here to answer some questions. I see some chatter in here. We have one immediately from Hypnosis with Kendall. Let's see if we can highlight that here.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Hi there. I made a narration audio on voice notes on my Mac. Is there a way to add it to a video in Descript?
Yes, that's a great question. I believe there is a couple of steps involved, but let's go ahead and try. I just recorded a quick demo voice note on my Mac just to test this out. I think you have to convert it, but let's check.
Do you need me to get your screen up for you?
Let's get that up here.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
There we go. All right, so this is just a project that I'm using for an example. I recorded a voice note, and as suspected, it's in a weird format provided by Mac. I think they have a specific format, M4A, that's a little bit more compressed. That's why the files are smaller. But how do I switch the screen? Hold on. My apologies.
You need to reshare the full screen.
Entire screen, perfect.
All good. We're going to reshare the screen here. I do see the questions coming in here. Keep asking. We'll get to as many as we can. We'll probably be able to get to all of them, but we're going to finish answering each question, and then before moving on to the next one.
Yes. So this is my voice memos app. I just drag the file onto my desktop. Let's go ahead and just try to upload it, see what happens. I'm going to go to project. This is where you would upload your files. And let's see if this will accept it. So it looks like it's not accepted as a file format. But if you're on a Mac, fortunately, it does have this neat encoding feature. So if you right click on that voice note, there's this little option at the bottom that says encode selected audio files. And it should let you change it to a different source here. I'm going to try Apple lossless, maybe.
Yeah, it should work. We'll double check.
Nope.
Oh. A MacBook Air, an Apple Air. Try a different one.
iTunes? Nope. Why are you doing this, Mac? Nope. Interesting. Okay. This is a great question. I do want to figure this out for you.
I would say Handbrake or
Yeah.
a VLC is another way to do this. So if you have a separate encoding app, because this is just the native encoding feature, we could try QuickTime real quick.
Yeah, let's try this. Audio only. Okay. Test converted. Okay, did that do the thing? Okay, let's go ahead and try this. All right, so that worked.
Cool.
So looks like QuickTime is going to be your friend. If you open up your voice memo using QuickTime, you should be able to export as. So we're going to go to File, Export as Audio Only, and that should give you a format that will work with Descript. So just once you've exported that, you could go ahead and upload it. So you can see here, I've got that voice memo uploaded, and you can just drag it in your timeline or onto the script if you want it transcribed. But looks like that works.
Awesome. And then, yeah, just drag exactly where you want it on the video. This is obviously not where we would want it, like the type of video we have here, but this is just the same process for any video you might have.
Right, you could do it on the script as well if you prefer to have it there. But yep, depends on your project and your workflow.
All right, we have a question from Ray Daly. I'll show it here. Interested in different ways to make a video of me watching another video. Tutorial is an exam. More than one way. So you're trying to make a video of you watching another video. So it sounds like you want to have a combination of a screen recording and a video of yourself, like reacting to the video, sort of like a reaction video. That's what I'm understanding based on your question. If that's not quite it, do you mind trying to clarify exactly what like the end result is? Or if there's a sample video you have, we can always take a look at what the sample is and then try to replicate it. But based on that, that should be pretty simple of having you watch that video. You could do two things. You could literally record a screen recording of the video while the video is playing, or you could just watch the video, record yourself watching the video, don't record your screen, and react to it. And then after you have filmed that, you can add the video that you're watching to your project as a separate layer. And you can sort of adjust the sizing and how you want it to look from there. I think that's probably what I would do, just because recording your screen when you're watching a video, you might get some lag, and a lot of a lot of websites and applications have blockers when you're trying to record record another video. YouTube is one. Like I think
Mhm.
depending on the video, it might just block it, or the video might like stutter. So that's why I would recommend importing it separately.
Yeah, I love those workarounds. I think that would totally work. If you did want to record yourself and a screen recording at the same time, you could just do that within a project, and you would just select the screen option. From here, you can enable, oh, this is the web app, but basically it'll enable your webcam and your screen recording at the same time, to get both of those layers recorded.
We have another question here, making sure we haven't missed it. This is from Rage Pearl Repeat. Can you suggest some prompts that we can use with Underlord that would be helpful to do before a final export? Kind of like a Underlord final check before exporting. Ah, gotcha. So something like,
yeah.
Can you do a check on this to make sure the video is coming across well, or some other things? What would you recommend for this point? Do you have any prompts that you use before exporting, or anything that we sort of recommend? I don't know if there's a one
Yeah,
prompt
that is a great question. It
fits
might
all.
be because I run my prompts as I edit. Typically, I'll have Underlord remove filler words, check for retakes, and stuff like that. And I typically reviewing the project as I go. But I guess you could try just asking Underlord if there are any unnecessary script, if there's anything that that could be improved, if you could clarify the script a bit more, stuff like that. That's a great question. So I'll have to play around with what a good prompt would be to get the best results.
Yeah, I would say generally that's a lot of that stuff is what I would use in the beginning. Like I would ask a prompt, like some of the basic AI tools, like let's remove filler words, let's edit for clarity, let's remove any retakes, let's clean this up a little bit. So all of the stuff that you're seeing on the AI tools, that's some of the stuff I would just do right up front. There's not a necessary prompt I would do sort of at the tail end here. We do have a prompt, like a best practice prompting guide that Alex is linking here, just how to prompt. But I don't know what prompt I would use at the tail end. Maybe something like, I'm about to start off sort of, I'm about to export, list some of the things that you have done and anything that you do want to check. If there's like a specific, I want the timing to be right. I want the pacing to be right. Specifically, like get as specific as you can with that. Or if you're saying, do you think, is there anything that this is missing based on other videos of the similar content or this similar style?
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Giving it like a reference would be good too.
Yeah, I would be kind of curious. I mean, that's sort of, if you have specific videos that you're working with, you can sort of try to cross-reference. This one, I would be definitely curious to see what you try, and then if you want to like reach back out or directly with us, would love to see the results for it, because I know that generally like a last check is something that I would recommend like a human do, like that because it's your project, it's your final thing. If you notice anything that you would like to make a change for, that's sort of the final touches. Underlord is really great at getting you almost all the way there, and then the sort of human touch can finish it off for you. But I'd be curious, sort of reverse engineering that the other way.
Yeah.
We'll take over to the next question here. This is from Hypnosis with Kendall. I have a 3-minute video of me walking in the woods. I don't say anything at all until the last 40 seconds. For some reason, Descript has my vocals pushed up to the beginning of the video. Then the follow-up is, my plan was to use my narration until the last 40 seconds and then have my vocals at the end.
That's interesting. We'd probably have to see the specific project to see what happened. It could be a matter of how the file was inserted into the project. So, for example, if I have a new composition here and you've uploaded your video, I would just check to see that nothing weird is happening as far as tracks being duplicated or things being clipped or trimmed. One thing to sort of just start from scratch is just to delete everything on the timeline and then grab your file again to drag it in. And that should keep everything raw and unedited with how you recorded your video. But yeah, that's something that's outside of that. We'd be happy to take a look with that specific project. If you could write into support, we could take a look at that and look at it.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you are just seeing the script, like on the script track, you might only see the script. Like if there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds of silence or like non-audio, you're not going to see that. You'll see just the sort of audio. Like you see how there's 8 seconds, or is that 8 or 6 seconds of silence in the timeline here? You'll notice that that's not really present on the script because the script will just show you the script, that's the transcription. But you can use the timeline for a little bit more granular editing there. But yeah, if you want to reach out to support, we'd be happy to take a look, and maybe there is something strange going on here. If you're adding it with Underlord, then I can definitely see something funky going on. Or Underlord is like, I am only going to add the part where you're talking.
Yep, can happen. So luckily, nothing is really destructive in Descript, so you can just grab your file and throw it back into a new composition or project, and that should get you back on track.
We have a question here from Isabelita Ruiz. Isabelita Ruiz. My apologies. All right, here's the question. Tried to have speaker at the top and screen share at the bottom to create a YouTube short, but it wasn't working. Asked Underlord when it duplicated the composition, the audio was out of sync. It sounds like you might have the speaker and then the screen share. That's all good. But it sounds like they might not be in a sequence together based on your description. Because if Underlord is duplicating it and making cuts, it sounds like you might be cut, like the speaker is getting cut, but the actual screen recording is staying uncut. That's how it sounds to me. Does it sound similar, or what do you think here?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I would be curious to see if is it just one video file for both the screen share and the speaker, or do you have a separate file for the recording of the speaker and the screen share? I think if we figured that out, we could sort of reverse engineer as well. Because if it was a matter of having 2 separate files, you could easily combine those into a sequence and line them up and rearrange the layers however you want. But if it's just one file and then Underlord is trying to duplicate things and crop things in to make it look like you do have 2 files, that'd be a little bit more involved. So we could certainly look into that.
This might be a good time just to explain what sequences are if you want to showcase. This is a good video. This is a good project to demo that.
Right. So with Descript, we have the most important track is the script track. And it's when you drag a file into your project, you have the transcription. And the way to work with files that have, or recordings that have more than one file, is what we call a sequence. It's basically a container of multiple files. Let's say you have 3 camera angles, 2 microphones. You would combine those all into one sequence. That way you can have a single track on your script track. And when you make a cut on your script or you're editing in the timeline, it'll cut it from all of those files within that sequence. So it's basically just like a container or a wrapper. So in the case of your question, if you have a screen recording file and a camera file, and for some reason they're not in a sequence, you could easily create your own sequence. So if you just shift-click on the files that you want, you'll have this pop-up come up, and you can create a sequence. And you'll be greeted with this new editing window where you can arrange your footage, your audio tracks within that sequence. So since we recorded this in rooms, everything's going to be aligned. But in most cases, maybe you have multiple camera angles and you just need to line things up. This is where you would do that, get the audio all settled in. And once you're all done, you can click done. And you'll have a new sequence pop up here under your project files, which you can then insert into a project like so. So now if I make an edit to my script, let's say I delete this, it'll delete it from both my recording and Trevor's recording since they're both within the sequence. A labyrinth is much like a sequence. That's very true. It's took me a while to get this particular concept down, but it's really handy.
In Discord office hours, which again, if you're interested in showing up to more of these, Discord 1 p.m. on Wednesdays, someone keeps referencing one of the hosts as a character from Labyrinth. I wonder if there's any relation there, but do you have a character you relate to in Labyrinth?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Labyrinth? Oh,
I haven't.
fantastic.
I know.
It's great. I would be Ludo. He's like this little giant that gets bullied by the other goblins.
Oh no!
It's actually just a very nice, a very soft and gentle creature.
Warm-hearted.
Warm-hearted.
There we go.
I don't really understand how Labyrinth is like a sequence, though. But whatever helps you wrap your head around sequence, which is like a very Descript specific feature that I don't think any other editing tool really uses.
Yeah, it's very specific to Descript for sure. It looks like Isabelita clarified it's one video file. Okay.
So yeah, let us know if this helps with that, or if you think something else is going on and you think we'd be able to answer it without taking a look at the project. We're happy to re-clarify. Otherwise, that's something you can always send a link on to one of us.
Yeah, especially we get a lot of users who have like a Zoom recording where it's a speaker and then they have a screen share. And a lot of the times people want to sort of make it seem like it's a separate speaker view and the screen share. It's possible. It just involves a lot of steps. So we'd be happy to go through that one by one with you if you submit a support ticket.
The sequence is a set of steps that one must take to achieve a goal and is sometimes confusing. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
That's absolutely true.
All right, we have a question from Melissa Garay. Hi, how do you create an introduction?
Great question. Yeah.
You want a demo from our video here?
Let's demo it. So let's start with our project here, just a simple podcast that we did. We don't have an intro. If you wanted to create one, my workflow specifically is going to add a new scene at the very beginning. And that just gives you a blank, I believe it's like 10 seconds of a layout that you can really customize to your liking. So from here, I'm going to close this out for now, just to give you a visual of what it looks like. We have a recording here, and then we added this new scene at the top, which is 5 seconds long. We can extend this to however long we want the intro to be. I'll just make it 10 seconds for now. And from here, you can really just add anything you want. If you have a recording of yourself introducing the project, you can throw that in there. If you want it to just be text and audio, you could start with anything you've uploaded, or we also have a stock media library. I'm just going to start throwing things in to build a quick intro here. A big fan of this little video here. Oop. So I'm going to trim that to just be in the intro.
We didn't want a scene from Labyrinth.
That'll be for the outro.
Okay, yeah, the outro. We'll do the magic dance.
Media. So I'll switch over to the audio tab because I think some music would be good here. And let's do Elevate Your Love. That sounds like exactly what we need.
It's very bold bringing it in without listening to it.
I know. Oops. I think I might have dragged that into the script. So yeah, now it's just a matter of building your layers to have it look the way you want. And you can always trim clips if they're too long. So this is a long recording. I could easily just click S, which will split the clip, and I could delete the rest. Maybe I wanted to bleed into the recording a bit. That way we have sort of an intro, and then I could fade that in using this white dot that appears. And let's add some text. I'm gonna go to elements now, and let's add a title element. My super fun podcast. And you'll see this little toolbar that pops up. Maybe I want to animate this. I can click on appear.
You can animate it by character. I like animating it by character. Make it really slow.
There we go. Let's do that. Maybe make it last 2 seconds.
I'm not sure if you're sharing sound, but the audio is playing on your end, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you might need to reshare for sound if we need to, but we should be okay for now.
Yeah, I will look at that in a second, but yeah, let's say I really dig how this is looking, and I want to use this for future projects. Fortunately, you could save what we built here on this introduction scene as a layout. So I could right click on the scene thumbnail here and save this as a new layout. That way I can easily apply this to future projects. So my favorite intro is what I'll call this. The type, I'll go ahead and keep everything the same and save. So now I don't have to spend time crafting this introduction for every project that I have. So I'm gonna do something crazy and just delete everything I made here. Reset layout, delete. Now I can apply this layout that I have saved. There we go. Oh,
I think that's the other one.
There we go.
We've made many in an intro.
We've made so many. There we go. So now it's just a matter of clicking a button to apply this to future introductions, and you can even change the text and save it as an outro layout. So alternatively, I'm going to go to the very end of my project, add a new scene, and apply the outro that we've made. And it's just as easy as that.
But this time it's the magic dance.
It's the magic dance. Yep. Labyrinth. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a lot of fun building layouts and crafting
intros and outros. And let us know if there's a specific question with the intro that you're trying to do, that either this was answered or not answered. We're happy to re-clarify. Alex posted in the chat our guide on saving your own layouts and creating layouts. There's a lot of customization with layouts that you can do, and we also have a full gallery of layouts that you can just choose from and customize on your own. You can remix them if you need. We have a lot already just as a default to get some ideas. Any other question? Any other questions we have at the moment? Otherwise, we might show off some common workflows when you're working with this type of video. We've shown how to create an intro and an outro, how to add specific layers and elements, but we haven't done any actual editing so far on this project. You might be familiar with some of this, but we may be going over some stuff that you're unfamiliar with, and just by using our random workflow.
That's right. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's dive right in. Now that we've got the intro and outro all figured out, let's dive into the main recording. This is a podcast that we recorded in Rooms, which is the remote recording solution that we have right in Descript. And we were talking about moving here because I guess not recently anymore, a few months ago, moved here to Arizona, and we just picked it as a topic. But to sort of start with a script, for most people, sometimes there's going to be some repeated words, some filler words, some sections that you wanted to clarify, so you have retakes. We have a really cool tool here under AI tools called Edit for Clarity, which pretty much combines a number of our AI script editing tools into one. So it'll remove filler words, digressions, blather, and obvious cuts. So really useful for just quickly trimming your video down. Let's just take a note that our project is about 10 minutes and 42 seconds, but let's go ahead and edit this using Edit for Clarity. And I could easily just go through the script and manually delete some of these filler words, but that could take hours. So let's just have Descript do it for me. I'm going to set the intensity to maybe medium this time and submit. So we'll give that a second. Okay. Oop. There we go. So Descript now gave me 137 suggestions for edits here, and I can easily review this, except for, forget about this. So I'll go ahead and click done. And we'll see that our project now is about 8 minutes and 57 seconds. Cool thing about this is you could still see the edits on the script with this sort of crossed out script here. And let's just play a section back here. I think I'll need to reshare the audio, but.
Yeah, I'm not getting any audio in.
Okay, let me redo that really quick. There we go. Oh yeah.
It's like we never left.
Nothing happened.
Change. How'd you want to talk us through the steps? Did you rent a truck? Did you just lug the furniture one by one?
So you can see the edit there, but it skips over it completely. If you decide to keep it later on, you can always hover over that edit and just restore it. So go ahead. And I'm pretty happy with that. Another one of our favorite tools to use for improving the sound. Maybe you recorded using just your laptop mic, or you were in a noisy environment. We have something called Studio Sound, which you can apply. And basically just takes a recording and enhances the audio. So I'll go ahead and just click that, and let's go ahead and compare what that sounds like.
Today, happy Friday. Well,
Yeah.
we're doing okay. Today we're going to be talking about a
I'll turn it off, see what that sounds like now, just to compare.
subject that you should be very recently familiar with.
So you see it gets rid of the echo, makes it a little bit louder, more even. Really helpful tool for improving your recordings if you just had a less than ideal setup. So Studio Sound, very, very useful tool.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I pretty much do on almost everything I record. This looks like I'm in a very confined environment, which I am, but behind me there is like a very large room that is very echoey. I don't know if you can tell right now, but I am using a microphone. But I think when we recorded this, I just used my my computer, my laptop mic, just the Mac microphone, which is not the worst, but it's definitely not professional by any means. So Studio Sound can help you with just very, very basic, full sounding audio. It's like you're in a studio, and there's different adjustments. So if you are noticing it's sounding a little bit robotic, because it can with certain intensities, you can press the effects settings and toggle the intensity down a little bit. I like to use like 70 to 80%. That's where I find sort of the sweet spot.
Yeah. It's the place to be right there. Oh, this is a sequence. So in a matter of the sequence, we could even affect them individually. So I have my track and Trevor's track. And the way that I got to the sequence editor, which we looked at earlier, is by double-clicking on your script track. You can also right-click and edit sequence. This way I can affect the intensity individually. So maybe Trevor's is around 80%. Mine can stay at 100. So you can have those customized to your liking, depending on the situation.
Yeah, and that's Looks like my echo's on there. That's also helpful if one of you, or if you have a guest that doesn't have a strong microphone, but you have a studio microphone. It's nice to do that. And if you're recording with Rooms, which is what we used, which is a remote recording studio, it's how you can record remotely with up to, is it 10 right now? I don't know the exact number.
10, I believe.
10. Yeah. So you can record up with 10 users in a Descript room. It will record everyone's track individually. So if someone's audio is definitely worse than others, you can apply effects just to that audio track, and everyone else will be sort of untouched. Rooms is a fantastic feature because you don't have to leave a Descript really. When you record, it does open a new browser, but that recording will just open up in a new project for you. If anyone's familiar with Squadcast, it sort of removes that step of pressing a button to have to edit it and import it into Descript.
That's exactly right. And when we started with this project, that's what you'll be greeted with, is basically your transcript and the two files sort of side by side like this by default. And speaking of which, good segue is, how do I make this look better? It looks, I guess, fine right now, but I think we could spice this up a little bit.
Oh, we can.
Oh, we definitely can.
We definitely can.
One way to do that is using layouts. So I think this would be a good way to introduce layouts, is what we call pretty much templates for your scenes. Earlier, we made this layout for my introduction. Now we can use a layout for this main body or this main recording. And I could go ahead and click on the scene and let's check out what Descript has to offer, because we do have layouts specifically for this type of recording. It's the Multicam layout. I'm going to just try to find it here. 2-camera. This is exactly what we did, so I'll just go ahead and click that. And in a moment, it should sort of reconfigure my recording here to match this layout. Come on, Xfinity. There we go. So right there, you'll see that it zoomed in a little bit. You got rid of the borders, and now it has this really nice, clean look for my recording.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot better. I think I muted your thing.
My tab.
It's muted.
Oh, gotcha. Here we go.
Episode 1. Isn't
it? Yes, it is.
Welcome. We have Sal on today, and me, Trevor.
So this looks great. I feel like I could use more though. So if you want to take it a step further and you have multiple files like this, especially if you recorded in Rooms and you have a file for each speaker, we have a feature called Automatic Multicam, which can really add dynamics to your video. And basically what it does is whenever Trevor speaks, it'll focus on Trevor's video. Whenever it turns to me, it'll focus on my video and occasionally do a split screen like this. So this can all be done manually. It'll take you a long time, so I recommend giving it a try. We're just going to click on it. I'm going to leave everything sort of to default settings, but you could certainly change this. Maybe you want to only show the active speaker. Automatic is nice because it shows the occasional split screen. Cutaways is when it pans to the other speaker for reactions. And camera setup should be fine from the get-go, but it's always good to check that the speaker labels match to the right video. So Trevor is going to the Trevor video, and my video is going to my speaker label. So I'll go ahead and click submit. And in a matter of seconds, you'll see that we now have 54 scenes from the 2 that we started with. So let's go ahead and give this a play. Yes, it is.
Welcome. We have Sal on today, and me, Trevor. I'm also on today. You have two different.
Cleared out and ready for people to rent. We did end up getting another small trailer for our car because we have so much stuff, and yeah, we loaded up the car, got the kids, the dog, the cats, and drove all the way down to Phoenix.
Wow. How long did the drive take?
So you'll see it jumps between Trevor and I, and it really adds some spice to your video in just a matter of seconds. So it's a really powerful tool for multicam recordings like this. And yep, Alex posted the link there if you want more information. But yeah, what do you think this needs next?
Yeah, I think so. We have automatic multicam. We edited for clarity. We have an intro and outro. I think this feels like a pretty good video so far. I wonder if we can showcase how to take some of the highlights from here and make them into other compositions.
That is a good suggestion. Okay. So let's try to, ooh, okay. Sticky mouse, sorry. Logitech. So if you want to share this to social media, for example, and a great way to find clips within your long format recording like this is using our AI tools here. So I'm going to go ahead to AI tools and scroll down to the repurpose section. From here, you can create clips. So Descript will sort of scan your entire script and find a few sections where it thinks it'll do good on social media. Create highlight reel. It's very similar. It's going to find the best moments in your composition, and find highlights is going to do something also pretty similar. I'm going to stick with create clips. I want to look for, let's say, yeah, let's do 5 clips that I want to look for. And we have some layouts to choose from here. I believe the default is a portrait style. So I'm going to do social clip 2 camera layout and submit.
And this is just creating new compositions for you. They'll stay in the project, but they're not going to affect the existing composition that we were just editing. They're creating new compositions that are unrelated to the original one. They're just pulling from this one.
All right.
And Underlord is thinking, and we'll always give you a witty something, a witty joke or something silly.
Big fan of them. Okay, so we have 5 clips here. Okay. To access these, you can click at the top of your composition here, and you'll have a drop-down menu. Now, Descript made this new folder called Clips, and this is where those clips will live. You can also access this by going to the Project tab and seeing your compositions there. So let's go ahead and click one of these. Let's go back to this first one. There we go.
Might not be shared audio. One moment.
Still not
now
going?
it is.
Oh, there we go.
Up for the night. This car could be ransacked.
Don't steal anything.
This car could be gone, or everything.
So there we go. It pulls a short 41-second clip, and it formats it on this sort of vertical layout, adds a caption layer. So you can easily just export this and share it with the world. Let's go ahead and check out some other ones here. Looks like there might be a weird placeholder issue there.
How long was each driving day, would you say?
First one was kind of brutal. It was probably like...
So I must have clicked something when I was selecting a layout that's not playing properly with these. But that's sort of the idea. It grabs the best moments in your composition and creates these little snippets that you can share. And if you want to get back to the main composition, I'm just going to click on this top one here to get back to the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like the placeholder issue. I wonder if we could show how to resolve that.
Yeah, it should,
because this shouldn't be too common, but I have seen it come up if you apply a layout, specifically if you're applying a layout that has the wrong number of layers. Like layout, you can apply any layout technically to any scene, but there's going to be some times where the layout might have more layers than your scene has. For instance, if you have 2 people talking but you apply a layout that has 3 people talking, and then you want to replace that, we can if you want to demo kind of what to do with those placeholders.
Sure. Yeah, let me find that one that did have placeholders. Here we go. Here, for example, so you'll see this sort of placeholder where I should be. So we can easily fix that by just clicking on this and add media. From here, we're going to change the source to myself. So it should be me. I'm going to go ahead and click script Salvatore. So that should fix it.
And that's it. It's pretty easy to fix. It's just it does bring up sort of an alarm in your head saying, why is this not me?
Where did I go? And yeah, to that point, layers can also be hidden. So it's always good to check this little layer panel to see if something is, just hidden. In this case, I'll do the same thing. Let's get Trevor back in here. There we go. Bam. Easy as that.
Sweet. And we're back. Except here. We're not back here.
There we go.
Now we're back.
Now we're back. Back in business.
And you can always adjust what this added from here. So this added captions. It added some default captions. There's a lot of different things you can adjust scene by scene, as well as we have some other specific elements like waveforms, timers, progress bars, other sort of fun elements that you can add for. Do people say audiograms anymore? Is that even like the thing people say? I haven't heard that in a long time.
Just like slide decks sort of replaced PowerPoints.
Yeah, exactly. Like these used to be called in Descript audiograms, but then we just made the customization a lot easier to do by manually adding them to your project.
Yeah, I really like those. It adds a nice little touch to your videos. So I added this waveform element, and if you just want to see what it looks like.
I actually, for the first time, I used ChatGPT to think, hey, what's the best route for like a family-friendly?
Yeah, just adds a little something to your video. Very cool. And like Trevor mentioned, you can always rearrange the layout that was applied when you're creating clips. So maybe for this scene here, I just want it to be myself. I'm just going to click on my layer on the scene, and I'm going to fill the scene. Not that one.
Oh, that should work. I think you're just in. Yeah, you have to hide me.
So I'm going to hide Trevor. There we go.
There we go. There's always a few different ways of doing everything. You can control things from the timeline. You can control things from the scene editor, which is that preview screen. And then you can always control things from the properties panel on the right. That's what makes Descript a little bit flexible. You can also ask Underlord to do it. And I think at that point, if you're asking it to hide a specific layer and unhide it, that's just going to take more time because you still have to wait for it to process and also type in the prompt when you can easily just use it manually.
That's right. There's a path to every destination.
Not seeing any questions. I wonder if we could make a really, really weird clip using green screen.
Say less. Okay, let's
say less.
All right, let's get back to our main composition here. Is it this one? I've created so much now, I can't keep track. There we go. All right, so let's add a little green screen magic to this. So green screen is our nifty little tool that can remove your background. That way you could replace it with anything you want. I'm gonna position myself to fit the scene editor again here, just so you can see it pretty clearly. So if you want to do this, all you have to do is go to AI Tools. You can also go to Properties for that selected layer. And we're just going to apply green screen. And basically, it just wipes out your background like so. And I'm going to add a cool little background here. Really, it can be anything you want. It could be a video, an image. I'm just going to click this image for now. Okay. Sorry, my internet's a little bit slow. We're streaming this, and
we're streaming this. We have Descript. I guess that's kind of it, huh? There might be other people in your place using the internet as well.
Yeah, I'm on the most bottom floor, and we have a router like on the 3rd floor, so it's not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see you. And we did see that we had a question, or Nature Lover, you had a question above. I don't see the question that you asked. It's possible it didn't come through, so we just asked. We just asked to get some clarification in there. Would love to answer the question, so we'll wait for that while we do this and have this import.
Yeah, it should be here though. Okay, there we go. They just want me to pay extra for the added gig. Okay, so this is sort of still loading on my end, but basically it's just removing your background. That way you could add a new layer to use in place of that. So I've added this image, and I'm going to send it to the back. And there we go. Now I have a new background. You can always reposition yourself. You could reposition the background layer. Like so. So that's a fun way to add some more spice to your videos.
And yeah, Nature Lover, I'm not seeing the questions come in. I see that you said some basic ways to minimize jump cuts. I'm a beginner and am getting a lot of them with edits. If you're adding a link in your question, I'm not sure if you're doing this, but sometimes that will just get blocked automatically. But I'm not seeing that I'm not seeing those questions come up. I believe that you're asking them. Just it's probably just getting blocked for some strange reason. And then we do see a quick question about the old timeline. I'm still using the old version of the editor. The current interface scares me and I resist change. Can you promise I'll be safe for a while? I assume you are referring to the timeline as a whole, which looks different here. Do you want to show what the old timeline looks like? At this point, it is the old one. It's no longer the new one.
That's right. I'm going to go to my settings, and under labs, I'm going to, there it is. New timeline. I'm going to toggle that off and things should refresh.
And it's very different, but not that much different.
Yeah. Wow. I haven't seen this in such a long time.
Yeah. It's been a while at this point.
Let that reload for a minute. Yeah, I can see the resistance to change. It's definitely, especially if you're working in Descript a lot. I can promise you, I think I like it. I've grown to really like the new timeline. I do miss the side panel with the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
However, we do have a storyboard view that can sort of replicate that.
I think the bottom, yeah, I mean, the new timeline is faster. Like it will just load faster and it's constantly getting worked on. I'm a big fan now of the new timeline. I definitely understand being resistant to change, especially when it comes to the UI. I imagine at some point it will be unavailable, the old timeline, just because of how we update things. We update Descript pretty regularly. Not that necessarily the UI, just adding features, adding quality fixes, and the prioritization is not necessarily on the older UI. It's always on the new one. So I would change whenever you feel comfortable. It's still available now. I haven't heard any news on it's going away like now or tomorrow. So if you're comfortable with the old one and you still want to use it and it's fast enough, yeah, Alex was saying it takes me back. Haven't tried using this in a bit. So just we're all on the new timeline. All of us on the support team, we've adapted, and I've definitely grown to like it. But yeah, if you have any questions or honest feedback, we do take a lot of our feedback, especially with for users that have been users a long time, that we really value feedback. We have a feature request board, is a great way to share with us your feature requests and feedback of changes or any new changes and things. We'll get a link to that. So if you have a new feature you want, or an existing feature update, or a feature that is no longer available or slightly changed that you wish it was going back the other way, as long as you provide like a good reason and a use case to why you liked a different way or prefer a different way, we really take those to heart, and our engineering team does actively look at that board.
Agreed.
And yeah, still waiting for that other question to show up about the minimizing jump cuts. I do want to get a little more clarification before jumping into a question. But we do have one more. I am a brand new user as of yesterday. Welcome. Well, thanks for jumping in here.
Over, yeah.
I am a voice actor creating 60 to 90-second documentaries to post on social media. What is the fastest way to create my videos without costing me a lot of credits? Good question.
Yeah, that is a great question. If you're a voice actor, I would probably prioritize recording yourself. Your voice is your magic ticket. So while we do have tools like AI speech that you could clone your voice, using the recorder in Descript is going to not cost you any AI credits. It does use media minutes, but depending on what plan you have, you should have plenty. So basically, just record your voiceover, and I would look at the tools that we went over earlier today for cleaning it up after the fact, like Edit for Clarity and adding some of these, remove retakes and filler words. Then from there, you could sort of fine tune it and add layers using stock media, images, or videos that you have, or asking Underlord to generate assets for you if you want. So I think once you get that process down, it'll come more naturally, and you'll find a system that works, and you could start to incorporate layouts like we did earlier. If you've got a setup that works great for you, you could save that layout and easily apply it. So that's sort of my thinking for at least for documentaries to share on social media.
Yeah, and it sounds like you might want to use layouts specifically just for if you need like captions and everything. We have a guide on also what uses credits. Underlord is definitely going to use the most amount of credits. If you're using Underlord to help generate and help edit, that will use sort of an undeterministic amount of credits, because we don't know what necessarily action it's going to take. But just adding, if you record yourself using the recorder, you add clips, you do your editing, you add a layout, you add captions, that doesn't use any AI credits. All of that, all that uses is media minutes. So media minutes for 60 to 90 seconds, you're really not gonna, you're not gonna get any limits, upper limits there. Okay, we do have a couple of quick questions, see if we can come in. Okay, just so this is from Nature Lover. Some basic ways just to minimize jump cuts. I'm a beginner and I'm getting a lot of them with edits. It sounds like the jump cuts might be happening if you're using some of our AI tools, especially if you're using remove filler words. Do you want to showcase the harsh cuts?
Yes. So if you do use remove filler words, which I do use a lot, you should have an option to avoid harsh cuts. And this will sort of limit your results a little bit, but it'll make for a smoother edit overall by toggling that on. And then let's go ahead and just remove that, for example. Oh, actually, I want to showcase what it looks like here. So let's say we've removed those edits, and maybe they're still a little jumpy. So right here, for example, there's a bit, maybe you could use a millisecond or two of more space. So you can always sort of recover your media by dragging the clip in the timeline like this. And you could go either way depending on which clip your cursor is on. So that way, just extending it just a tiny bit, maybe adding a crossfade like this, are just some of the tools that we have to minimize that. So it's already a lot smoother. Oh, is it muted? There we go. I'm going to play it back again.
We have Sal on.
Compared to what it was earlier, where it was just a harsh cut.
We have Sal on today.
Actually, not bad, but you can always affect that by recovering some of the media, some of the space there, and using a fade or a crossfade like this. And you're basically just smoothing out those cuts, which will help. And if you have more in-depth questions, we're happy to answer via support ticket as well.
Yeah, just looking at the time, it does look like we're at the end of the session. I know we didn't get to quite all of the questions. I saw there was one about speaker number and sides of multicam. For that one, that might be good just to reach out to support with your project, because if you're seeing some inconsistent behavior, it's possible you might be running into a bug. And in that case, we'll be happy to look at your project and make sure we can help set you up for the right just the right settings and everything on there. I saw some other questions about AI credits. Someone got charged 730 credits for something. It does not sound like you should be.
No, please
doing
reach
that.
out.
So please reach out. We can help settle that up for you and see why it cost that many. It does sound like you used Underlord there, which would use a sort of random amount depending on what you're asking it to do. Yeah, especially if it costs 15. That doesn't sound right. Please reach out. We'd be happy to help out there. You might get one of us or someone else from the support team, which would be happy to help. Any other questions, though? We're back here next week, same time, same place. There's other places to hang out. I believe there's another webinar on YouTube tomorrow. About the one on layouts tomorrow. It does look like it's a 101 on layouts tomorrow. You can register for that as well and join that webinar, and that should be a really cool session, learning a lot about layouts and some other fun features that go along with that. But other than that, thank you for joining. We'll see some of you next week, maybe see some of you in our community on Reddit, Discord. And hopefully if you submit a support ticket, it is for something good and not because something broke. But we'd be happy to help you regardless.
Either way, we're here for you.
All right. Have a great rest of the day.
Did it start again?
I was like trying to end it and I'm like, it's not ending. And then it just